Hi Year 5s and welcome to Wednesday's English lesson, and today we are going to be writing effective sentences and continuing on with our prologue based on the Nowhere Emporium. Let's just have a look at the two features that we saw yesterday. We used alliteration, didn't we, to describe the gossiping crowd, talk travelled, gossip gathered, and the said spread, which was one of my favourites that I read yesterday. We also included dialogue, didn't we? And we chose to write dialogue in a list. So we were sort of representing that there were snippets of dialogue being heard. So, for example, the crowds gathered like penguins. What could it possibly be? Who does it belong to? And we used the comma there to split to show that it was two different people speaking. And a note that we made to ourselves was that there should be punctuation inside of our speech mark or our inverted comma. Let's review some of our spellings. So these are the spellings that we are working on this week, and we are remembering that ent, the suffix ent, E-N-T, shows an adjective, and that becomes ents or entsy when it is a noun. Can you remember what a noun is? A noun is a PPTI, a place, a person, a thing, or an idea. So let's have a look at confident and confidence. You can see that confidence has been used with E-N-C-E, so that becomes a noun. With great confidence, he walked into the room. So we are going to practice the word confidence. So get ready to practice confidence, and I'm going to click the spinner. We did 5 yesterday. Let's do 2. You are going to find me a synonym for confidence. Remember, we're writing it as a noun. Okay, so a synonym for confidence could be pride. With great pride, he walked into the room. Let's try another way to practice this one. And this time you are going to write the word confidence in a sensible sentence. Do that now. Okay, and we're now going to have a little mini spelling test. Let's see what you can remember. So get ready to write, and you are going to write down 4 spellings. The first one is confident. He is a confident boy. Number 2, confidence. Number 3, non-existent. And number 4, existence. Let's have a look, see how you did. So confident, confidence, confident, existent, and existence. Just make a note of those spelling, that suffix at the end there. Nt is noun, nt is adjective. Okay, so today we're going to be looking at practicing 3 more writing techniques, time adverbials, similes, and using the power of 3. Let's review what we've written so far. On this crisp November morning, the ice blue hue reflected from the sky above the rooftops and onto the frost-bitten street below. In the distance, a solitary street lamp stood blinking, casting a light on the glistening scene. All was silent, until out of nowhere a strange shop appeared. Where had it come from? What might it sell? Who might own it? Could it be real? In the street, words whispered, rumours rumbled, and gossip gathered. Have you seen that strange new shop? I'm sure it wasn't there yesterday. So, we're going to now tell our reader that time has moved on, and we're going to do that by using a time adverbial. So here are some time adverbials that you could use to describe the night. By evening time, later that night, as the sky darkened, as dusk descended, as daytime disappeared, while the moon rose. Can you think of any others? And you've noticed there that I've used my comma as well, haven't I, after my adverbial? So we're now going to use that time adverbial to show the time that the crowd is gathering around the shop. So here is my example. As the moon rose in the sky, a curious crowd had begun to gather around the mysterious building. What could you write? Do write that down now on your piece of paper. Okay, next we are going to use a simile, and this time we are going to describe the blackness of the bricks. If you remember in the story, they are described as shimmering, aren't they? Midnight and shimmering. So we've got a set of synonyms for black, or things associated with blackness. Obsidian is one of my favourite words. Obsidian is a dark black stone, and it's very smooth. And jade is also a stone. Now, jade is normally green, but you can get black jade, and that is sometimes tinged with green as well. So both stones, they'd be quite smooth. And you can see that I have used it in a simile here. The tiles of this mysterious shop were obsidian black and smooth like paper. And I've also used a simile at the top here. The shop was built from bricks as black as a flick of a bat's wing. Now, can you use some of these words here to create your own simile to show how dark the bricks or the tiles of the shop are? You may want to start your sentence like this. The bricks were. Do that now on your piece of paper. Now we're going to move on to use the power of 3. And this little pair of legs here tells us that we're moving on to action. Let's see if we can spot the action. There was a glimmer of movement in the entranceway, and a ripple of excitement passed through the crowd. And then silence fell, a silence so deep and heavy that it seemed to hang in the atmosphere like mist. So can we think of some feelings that the crowd might be feeling? So here they're feeling excitement, aren't they? You could also have nervousness or hysteria or trepidation, or feeling as if they are in awe. Can you spot the list of 3 actions here in this little example? There was a glimmer of hysteria, a ripple of excitement, and a flitter of nervousness that passed through the crowd. Can you spot a list of 3 actions? That's right, there they are. And you can see I've used an emotion, a glimmer. I've used one of my sparkly words. And I've matched it with hysteria, which is one of the emotions that the crowd could possibly hear. So a glimmer of hysteria, a ripple of excitement, and a flitter of nervousness. Perhaps in your example, you might want to use a quiver of nervousness, or a flurry or a flutter of nervousness. You might want to talk about the excitement, a twinkle of excitement. So on your piece of paper now, could you write me a power of 3? So list 3 feelings that the crowd might be feeling, and see if you can use either a sparkly or flicker word to describe that feeling. And remember, we're using a comma and an and. So you want one description, comma, another description, and then your last description. Do that now on your piece of paper. Okay, and then finally we're going to read through to see how that fits on with the rest of the prologue that we have gathered this week. In the street, words whispered, rumours rumbled, and gossip gathered. Have you seen that strange new shop? I'm sure it wasn't there yesterday. As the moon rose in the sky, a curious crowd had begun. Oh, I've made a mistake there. It's a good job I'm reading through. Had begun to gather around the mysterious building. The shop was built from bricks as black as a flick of a bat's wing. The bricks were obsidian black and smooth like paper. there was a glimmer of hysteria, a ripple of excitement, and a flitter of nervousness that passed through the crowd. So I've read through my paragraphs and I've just made sure that I've edited that little mistake that I made there. Is there something that I like? Now, I do like this last bit. There was a glimmer of hysteria, that power of 3. Perhaps there is something else I can improve. I might end it on another rhetorical question. Who was the owner of this mysterious shop? So I might put that rhetorical question there at the end to really show that the crowd are wondering about who the owner is. So your task for today is to make sure that you have used those 3 techniques in your paragraph. Remember, we've used a time adverbial to describe the night and the crowd gathering. We've also used a simile to describe the blackness of the shop. And we've also used the power of 3 to describe the emotions or the action that is in the crowd, glimmer of hysteria, a ripple of excitement, and a flitter of nervousness. And we've also read through what we've written so far and put it together if you need to. And you are then going to say what you like and what you could improve. So 3 things: make sure that you have included the objectives for today, the time adverbial, the simile, and the power of 3, and read through what you have written so far, so your paragraphs for Monday and Tuesday, and see how you could improve that. And I look forward, as always, to reading your work.